Hello, everyone. This is Ian Schreier, Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Information at Adelphi University and a member of the CoSIDA Academic All-America New Media Committee. And it is my esteemed pleasure to be joined by the 2020-2021 CoSIDA Academic All-America NAIA Women's At-Large Team Member of the Year. Yes, I know that was a mouthful. A senior tennis player from Georgia Gwinnett College, Maria Genovese. Maria, first and foremost, congratulations on this special honor. What does it mean to you to be named the CoSIDA NAIA Academic All-America Women's At-Large Team Member of the Year?
It means a lot. I didn't really expect it. I just kind of, heard from our athletic director, and I was told that I won this award. And at first I wasn't really sure what it was, what it meant, what it really contributed in terms of, academically. But I did my little research, found out, and it's just like an amazing award, and it means a lot to me. It's nice as a student athlete to feel appreciated for your hard work academically and not just athletically.
Maria, you're also the second Grizzly this spring to receive the honor. Just last week, a fellow Grizzly, a fellow spring athlete from Georgia Gwinnett, Hunter Dollander, was named the same recipient in the sport of baseball. Now, you currently live in Lewisville, Texas, which is the suburban Dallas-Fort Worth area. But as you were telling me before we jumped on this interview, you've really scoured the world a little bit. Where originally are you from?
Yeah, I'm originally from Kazakhstan, and then my family and I moved to IMG in Florida in 2006. And since then, we've been there for a long time and moved to Texas, actually, in 2016, and been here ever since. So my parents live here in Lewisville, and I went to college in Tyler Junior College for 2 years, and then, of course, now in Georgia Gwinnett for the last 3 years, and hopefully, graduating next spring.
Now, I know you had mentioned that you moved to Florida so long ago and you've lived on the East Coast, but moving to Texas and going to a JUCO in Texas, what drew you to come back to the East Coast and more specifically to Georgia Gwinnett?
It was the best option for me in terms of what my eligibility could give me. And also, I really loved the school and the people and the coaches and the teammates when I met them on my visit the February before that first fall. Just going there, I just loved the energy and the atmosphere, and I just saw myself being there, and sure enough, it was a perfect fit for me.
Maria, you've racked up quite the number of awards in your time so far at Georgia Gwinnett, and you've got another year coming. You're a 4-time singles and doubles All-American, a 2-time ITA South Regional Champion, and ultimately last year in 2021, you became an NAIA National Champion and a first-team All-American. So I don't want to ask, but I'm going to ask, where does this award stack up among all these incredible athletic awards you've achieved in your career so far?
Well, I think it's a very special award because as an athlete, we look at our athletic awards and our achievements, but a lot of people forget just how heavily it weighs on an athlete to be doing well academically. And I think for me, it stands as one of the top awards in my opinion, just because, a lot of the hours, the sacrifices we make academically, they count for a lot of what we do.
Very well said. And as I've listed off all these awards, you've done so much on the tennis court in terms of your career, 24-2 singles record, 24-5 doubles record. Nothing to sneeze at, Maria. But I want to ask, when did you start playing tennis, and what have been the keys to your success to being such a what have been your keys to being such a successful college tennis athlete?
Well, beginning playing tennis around 7 or 8 years old, I grew up just around a lot of competitive people and, with a lot of support, like my parents and my tennis coaches all along. That just drove me to want to be the best player that I can be. And initially, my goal was to be a professional tennis player, but as we all know, some things get in the way. Got injured, had 2 wrist surgeries, and then went to college after that, and then just found my way to where I am now. And I think, I'm really glad to find myself where I am, and tennis has contributed in a great way towards my life.
Now, Maria, I don't know if you know this, I'm from New York, so should I expect to see you in Flushing in a month for the U.S. Open, or I won't see you there just yet?
I don't think just yet, no. I think I have a lot of things to do regarding Gwinnett and then getting ready to be an assistant coach after I graduate, so we'll see how that goes.
I want to ask this part of it. What do you find to be the strongest part of your tennis game? Is it your forehand, your backhand, your serves, your returns? What is it?
I think a lot of my friends and I myself too would say that most likely my backhand, especially the backhand down the line, there's no other feeling like it. When I rip that backhand down the line and it just goes straight, past your opponent, it's just the best feeling. So I'd say my backhand down the line.
Now, you're an English major, Maria, with a 3.97 cumulative grade point average. I think this goes back to a little bit to what you're saying about when we asked you about where this honor stacks up among the rest because of the responsibilities that a student athlete has to take on. So how have you found that way found that perfect balance of academics and athletics in your career, whether that be at JUCO, at the JUCO you were at, or at Georgia Gwinnett?
It's all about time management and just organizing your time and being responsible for how you spend your time outside of the court. If you have a few important matches in the weekend, you just try to do as much homework and study ahead of time before you play. So just managing time and organizing what you have to do, days ahead and scheduling it in the right way.
Now, the COVID pandemic has allowed you to come back for one more year with the Grizzlies, and you had already, I think, slightly mentioned the fact that you're going to come back as an assistant coach. So in addition to being an assistant coach, what do you see as your career path? I know you mentioned potentially being a professional tennis player. What do you see as your career path post-grad?
I would say, post-graduating with my master's, I would either, try to be the best coach that I can because I find a joy in making people fall in love with tennis the way I did because it teaches you great lessons and, contributes to your overall health as well. But aside of that, I would, try to use my major, my degree towards English, maybe a journalism or sports writing, but it definitely was something with writing because that is a big passion of mine and has been since I was little.
That's wonderful. And who do you, Maria, credit for instilling those values as part of your success? Who are those role models for you?
Honestly, I would say God, just sprung those passions in me and those interests, and that talent and abilities were given from Him. And over time, even, considering my injuries, I only discovered my writing passion and my, abilities to write from my injuries with my wrist surgery. So just thankful to God for those abilities, and I guess He would be my role model for all of it.
There was so much doubt, and we already referenced the COVID year and how much, how difficult the last 18 months have been and still currently are. And that there was just so much doubt between that time about the future of college athletics, and then that ranges between NCAA, NAIA, and JCAA. What did it mean to you to have, and I'm sure I've asked so many athletes this question, and I like to ask it continuously. What did it mean to you, just because of how special it was, to have that season this past spring and to know to come back again for the fall?
Oh, it was incredible. When COVID first hit, I realized, I'm not going to be able to have my first spring nationals with the team. And it bummed me out because I thought, wow, well, next year is going to be my last one. But with COVID being, able to give us that one more year extra, I'll be able to have the two spring nationals that I was initially supposed to have. So I'm excited. And then, of course, as an assistant coach, I'll travel with the team. So I guess 4 more ahead for me.
So much more than that. I want to touch back on this was the fact that you come back this spring and you win a national championship. What did that feel like for you?
It was an incredible feeling. I won nationals in junior college as well, but this was just a different team, different coaches, and the atmosphere was incredible. I remember when we won and the boys team won, we all cried, we hugged each other. It just was such a family, such a bond that those memories last a lifetime.
And especially the fact that you were waiting so long to find out if you were even going to play.
Yeah.
Through all the testing and through everything that's been going on through this pandemic, to come away with a national championship had to just make it that much sweeter.
Yeah. We had to get tested before every match or every other day. And, we're all nervous, like, oh, I hope we are all positive. I mean, negative, not positive, negative.
Right.
Positively negative, So it was a stressful time, but also, thankful that we all got to go through it and win.
Stay positive, test negative. That is the motto of the last year and a half.
Yeah.
So Maria, as you look back on your career, what are going to be? I mean, obviously a national championship has to top part of that list, but what are some of your favorite memories as you look back going into your final year at Georgia Gwinnett?
I think just the relationships and the bonds that have been made in the team, with the coaches. And there's a lot of special moments that you look back at, that just that one match that was really tough to win, but your coach carried you through it, or your teammates were cheering you on. And that's what made you go through the match in the end and win that victory. So just those special bonds that you create that, will last a lifetime. You'll have lifelong friendships coming out of college.
Maria, congratulations again on this award. We are so happy for you, and we just can't thank you enough for taking some time here to talk about it here with us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2020-2021 CoSIDA NAIA Academic All-America Women's at-Large Team Member of the Year from Georgia Gwinnett College, Maria Genovese.
Thank you.